Over the last few weeks, I've felt a lot like this, and I'm ready to feel a lot more like this. So I've just booked myself a cabin in the woods for 48 hours where I will be unreachable from most people. The goal is to delete all my social media apps for 48 hours and focus on doing the things that I truly enjoy. So that means I need two things: my running trainers and my Kindle. Let's go and find our inner peace, calmness, and let's just not speak to anybody for 48 hours, which, if I'm honest, is what this is all about. All my introverts out there, you know what I mean. It's cabin time. That's so nice. I can't explain to you how peaceful this is. Oh, I've literally just opened my eyes, if you can't tell. Very happy that I came here. I think it's coffee time. That sounds good. Right, as much as I could have stayed in bed all day, I should go outside while I'm here. While I'm in the countryside and I'm away from London, it would be rude not to go for a little jog. I think I'm just gonna focus on like time outside today rather than distance. I have a route which is about 6k and it says over an hour. I think that's walking though, so we're just gonna do that. I'd like to be out for like an hour or just over an hour. I'm gonna go out, get some fresh air, get some steps, and then basically just cozy on up in here for the rest of the day. So yeah, this morning was so nice. Like, I woke up, I felt refreshed. I slept for like 9 hours. And I'm normally so bad in new places, especially on the first night, with like waking up in the night and freaking out and being like, where the fuck am I? But last night was just so nice. I read my book this morning. I watched this series that I've been watching on my iPad. I had a coffee, I've had breakfast, and there's just no one around. And I cannot express to you like how nice it is sometimes just to be the only person around. I mean, there's other cabins, but they're not super close to this one. Yeah, we're gonna go and do a little run walk. Nothing strenuous. I'm also like, you know when you shut off and you start to wind down after being really busy, that's when you get ill. I've been getting ill over the last few days, so nothing too strenuous, just a nice chill run with the goal just being outside for like an hour or so. So yeah, let's go. I don't particularly love filming those like wanky clips where I'm clearly just set the camera up to run past it, but it's all about creating the ambience, you guys. In fact, while we're here, let's just go for a full wankery running montage right now. This is what it's all about. I really hope the camera picks this view up as well as it is in real life, but I mean, it probably won't. Are you ready for this? Whoa. Giving Twilight. You know, the scene where the vampires are running through the forest. Although I'm not going to think about vampires running through a forest right now, because I'm on my own and it looks quite dark. So anyway, let's enjoy the view. You didn't see that. You didn't see that. So the reason that I actually decided to book this little excursion for myself, and I am completely on my own, by the way. Josh was not invited, sorry Josh, was because number one, I'm an introvert. There are times when I just need to exist on my own with nobody around. Number two, I've mentioned before, I think I work in marketing, and a lot of my job anyway with the content stuff and my other job is very heavily screen-based and being on social media and being on Slack all the time, being on my emails all the time, and just being ready, available to a lot of different people. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I love my job. I'm so lucky to be doing what I'm doing. But there are times like this time of year when everything just gets 10 times busier and everything just builds up, and I feel like everybody wants something from me, and I'm being pulled loads of different ways, and I have to spread myself thin because there's literally just me. There's no other way to do it. And I knew that this week, if I could get all my stuff done last week, then I could reward myself with this. And I'm so happy that I booked this. I don't know, I get caught up in like everyday life and just doing the same thing over and over again. And obviously, like, we have to do that because that's how society works, right? We have to work. I just feel so lucky that I'm able to book something like this for myself. I have done all my work. I don't have any other responsibilities. I don't have kids. I don't have this. I don't have that. So I can just kind of come away and lock myself in a cabin for 48 hours. I would just like encourage you, if you can, to spend more time on your own, especially if you're an introvert and this is how you recharge. I think as you get older, you do get less and less time on your own. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm here. And it's just all about recharging away from screens. Well, obviously, like, I'm literally recording this voice message on my phone. Obviously, I still have my phone because I'm here on my own. So it's more of a safety thing. But all my social media apps have been deleted. I've been clean for about 24 hours now, and it feels great. To be fair, I don't feel like a big reliance on social media. I don't need it to function. I just feel like it zaps so much time where I could be doing something like this, reading a book, or doing something that's a bit more like conscious. Do you know what I mean? That was enough of me yapping for now. I think we should carry on this little walk and continue chatting. You're never going to believe this, right? I did set a circular route on Strava. I finished my route. I'm somehow a 45-minute walk away from the start, which is where my place is. How? I'm back. Longer than I thought, which I'm not complaining about. Like, what is there to complain about? Like, I've got this incredible view. I've just been able to go out for, I reckon, maybe 2 hours. Now I get to do whatever the fuck I want for the rest of the day. And I've got just less than 24 hours left here. So what is there to be mad about? Tonight, I think I'm gonna watch some Christmas films. I downloaded some on my Netflix account. I've got a new book that I started this morning, or I might go on to the next book in the Throne of Glass series because I also downloaded that on my Kindle. Look at that. Cute.
Reverend Jack laying half naked underground, bitten by a rattlesnake he bought from a traveling circus before it went down. He was honoring Jesus with his rattlesnake dance. Lord, couldn't you have given him?
I am feeling really refreshed and I'm ready to get cozy. I've just lit the fire. If you watch my videos, you might notice that I have completely cut all of my hair off. And you're not allowed to bring a hairdryer here because it uses a lot of electricity. So God knows what this is gonna turn out like when it's dry. But yeah, I just thought while we still had the daylight, I would answer some quick questions. Feel free to skip this part of the video, by the way. I always put chapters on the bottom. If you don't want to get to know me a little bit better, you can skip. I will not be offended. But first, I want to chat about what I'm reading. So last night I finished Crown of Midnight, which is book 3 of the Throne of Glass series. I know that there's like loads of different ways that you can read the series. I actually read the prequel first, and the ending, I'm not going to spoil it, but I was like, and it just sets the next book up perfectly. Anyway, so let's get on to some of these questions. I'm going to keep it super quick. Okay, let's stick with the theme of travel, seeing as I'm not at home right now. Anywhere in the world that you want to visit next? Yes, I have got a very exciting trip booked next year. I am going to be going to Japan for the first time, which I'm so excited about. I've wanted to go to Japan for so long, and I know so many people absolutely love Japan. I think that we also might be doing South Korea as well, which is really cool. I have teased this before, but I'm also going to somewhere in Europe in the summer, to do a half marathon. It's going to be called a half marathon. There is a particular YouTuber who is very, very well known who lives there and makes videos all about her life in this particular place. And I'm not going to say anymore because I don't want to spoil it, but I feel like if you watch this person's videos, you might have a strong idea of who I'm talking about. What was PE like for you in school? So I think my relationship with exercise in general has been kind of tainted by the way that I was taught it at school. I don't know, I just felt like if you weren't particularly sporty, then, you know, the teachers like always had favourites, right? And the favourites were always people that were like pretty athletic. Maybe they did, I say athletic, we were literally kids, but you know what I mean? Like maybe they do a lot of after school sports and they're on school teams and stuff like that. I was none of those things. And I just really felt like PE for me was a punishment. I wish that I was like a competitive thing, because I don't really love really competitive environments, like in running and out of running. So I just wish that there was another way that we could teach kids that exercise doesn't look like one particular thing. And also it doesn't need to be about physical fitness, which I definitely felt like it was. Like it could be a really good like stress reliever or this and that. Favorite YouTubers, obviously have to say Natasha Roshian, because she is probably one of my biggest inspirations in kind of the fitness space. I'm sure that you all know who she is. If you don't, she recently actually stepped back from YouTube, which was really sad. But she basically just creates fitness videos all about different types of sport and fitness, but there's a lot of science involved as well. So it kind of debunks all of these things that we might have learned when we were in our teenagers and early 20s about what fitness looks like on YouTube, which I remember there was a big thing, it's like growing an arse was like really trendy at one point. Everyone wanted like a big bum, and like all the training programs and everything were based around this like aesthetic, and Natasha just isn't aesthetic focused in her videos. It is about being functionally fit and also being happy and healthy and being able to exercise in a way that makes sense for your life. There is a girl that I absolutely love. She's blown up recently. I can't for the life of me remember her name. She's a really good storyteller. I feel like she's very good at like editing herself and editing to create a really good, concise story that's simple but has like a really nice message. The last question is, what camera and editing setup do you use? So I'm definitely not an expert in this at all, and I don't know what the right answer is and what I should be doing, but this is what I'm doing. So basically right now I'm filming on my Insta, I always forget the name of it, what it's called, Insta360 Ace Pro. This is the camera that I usually take out on runs with me. I really love the look of a wide angle lens. I just feel like you can take in more of my surroundings, and I don't know, I always love it when I can see more of what's going on in someone's background. The mics that I use are Rode, because audio I think is really important and sometimes overlooked. I think you can have like a pretty normal, you know, shoot a lot on your phone and the quality is pretty good for the phones that we have now, but then when you throw in a fancy mic in there, I think it can really elevate a video. So I try to use the mics when I can. I use my phone a lot. I actually recently upgraded my phone. This is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I just find it a lot more convenient sometimes than having to carry like a bunch of different cameras around. And then the other camera that I have is a Canon G7X Mark III. I tend to film intros and outros or anything where I'm kind of sat down. And in terms of editing software, at the minute I'm using CapCut to edit my YouTube videos, which I know is not like the done thing or the cool YouTuber thing, but I just have not found the time yet to learn how to use Final Cut Pro. But I feel like I've spoken for long enough now. I just wanted to keep that short and sweet and just kind of give you a bit more of an insight into me. So as I'm just sat down and I'm just about to leave, I thought I would do a little roundup of things that I learned on this trip. I feel like I've slowly started to learn this over the last like 3 to 6 months, where, you know, there are runs where I don't feel particularly fit. Like the run that I did yesterday, I felt really out of breath for a lot of it. At the end of it, I came back feeling really good and really positive and just really grateful that I could go out into these beautiful woods for however long I wanted yesterday. And it just felt really good mentally. Physically, not so much. But it made the overall experience that much more enjoyable. Yeah, so I think if you ever have a bad run, like physically, just remember that running also is beneficial for your mind. And that's one of the things I've really got out of this trip. And it's just something that I'm learning more and more and becoming more accepting of, is that I don't need to be the fittest person ever. As long as I enjoy what I'm doing and mentally I feel the benefits, like what else matters? Number 2 is that you don't need the entertainment of your phone or the distractions of your phone as much as you think you do. I have such like, what is it, like almost like muscle memory of just picking up my phone like every 15 minutes if it's near me, and I really didn't do it that much on this trip because I didn't have all these social media apps. I wasn't looking at my emails, I wasn't looking at Slack. I felt like I was more focused and like conscious of what I was doing. Like the films that I was watching it all the way through without looking at my phone and missing parts of the story. With my book, I wasn't like itching to get to the end of the chapter so I could check my phone. Do you know what I mean? I thought coming here I might be a little bit bored, and don't get me wrong, there were times when I was kind of like, I don't know what to do with myself, but I think because we're so chronically online that we have like endless ways to entertain ourselves. And then the third thing is like finding joy in really basic things. Like the focal point of my evenings here was set around lighting this fire because I am just shit at lighting fires, but it became like the thing that I look forward to, like getting the fire on, seeing if I could light it any better than I did the night before, stacking the logs in a different way, you know? Stupid things like that. The coffee here is beans, and you have to hand grind the beans with this little machine that you turn. So it made like making morning coffee this kind of like ritual. It was unnecessarily long, but like what else am I gonna do here? And I just really enjoyed the process of making that, and then it made actually sitting back in bed with this gorgeous view and drinking the coffee way more enjoyable. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. Have you tried anything like this before? Would you want to come and do something like this on your own? I would encourage anybody to do it if you can. I think it's so fun and a really nice way just to spend time with yourself. And let's be honest, if we're an introvert, this is like ideal for you. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. I also have to say this, don't forget to subscribe below. Okay, thank you.